keep current
Keeping
matters.
Current Matters. Yep.
Yes, I joined the the videos and all that stuff.
Yep.
I also was able to get plugged with IDX on my Facebook.
Okay.
So I ended up paying like, I think it was like $800 for 4 times a month. Plus, they are redesigning and redoing my whole Facebook. One of my business pages.
Mm-hmm.
Because the other one, I'm still fighting and I'm still dealing with the chatbots and all that stuff. But the one that I have as DMV housing, that's the one that basically this IDX, I think it's Home ASAP that's going to handle all that. And they gave me $300 on free ads for
Okay.
Facebook. So I end up paying $500 for 6 months, which is not bad, you know.
Mm-hmm.
It's just basically I'm just, trying to stay active. And hey, if you got to make money, you got to spend a little bit of money. So, that's where I am at right now.
Okay. Okay. What have you been doing with Keeping Current Matters so far?
Keeping Current Matters, I signed up this morning.
Okay.
I recently, it's really cool, man. If you look at my Facebook, I just added a video into all my on all my business pages and my personal page regarding, I think it's like the status of the market in September.
Mm-hmm.
The videos and everything are pretty professional and they are
Yeah.
very good. I was actually, before I called, I was playing with copy and paste an actual article
Mm-hmm.
into my constant contact. So, my CRM can just go with that. But I was having just problems. I'm not very tech savvy. So I was like having problems with the URL and where to connect it into constant contacts to be able to not to use the template, the templates that they have, but create my own, and send the video. I don't know if that's feasible or not, but, I'm working on it.
Okay. So for those of you who don't know what Keeping Current Matters is, it's actually a website / subscription service that provides you with content that you can use to promote your real estate business. So they send you like a blog every day. They have buyer guides on there. They have seller guides that you can customize. They also do videos, and everything is pretty much done for you. You just go in there and download it or copy and paste it wherever you want, put on your website, send it out in your email database, whatever you want to do. They do all the content, and they do a lot of content, and it's pretty inexpensive. It's like $30 a month, something like that. Essentially for a blog every day. That's what I really liked about them, because it really gives you content. And I know that that's a big struggle for a lot of people to produce content. And this is just, normal real estate stuff. So just things like, for example, 5 ways to sell your house for more, or, just generic stuff that can work everywhere. But then it'll also give you like market statistics for like a national level and all kinds of stuff. So I believe that they give you a trial too, if you want to try it out to see if it can be beneficial for you. But
it's 14 days free, and then with the video added to it is $39 a month.
Okay.
So the content plus the videos are $39 a month after the 14-day free trial.
Okay. Cool. Awesome. All right. Anybody else have anything came up last week? Anything you want to share?
I went on a listing appointment and used some of the things we talked about as far as like closing lines and everything. So,
how did it work out?
I got the listing. I was just waiting to
nice
and everything. But no, I asked them straight up. If we determine those 2 things, the price and if I'm the right agent to do the job for you, is there anything that would stop you from hiring me? And they said no, and that was at the beginning of the presentation, and probably my best listing presentation by far, for sure. So
look at that! Look at that! See,
Big Johnny.
Congrats, Johnny. That's
congratulations, awesome. Johnny.
Yeah, I love to hear that. Okay, anybody else? What's up, Darlene? I got your email, and I'll send you a message offline. But yeah, I got your email.
Oh yeah, Jason. Marcelo here. I also went to like a Latino festival on Saturday, and I was able to actually collect. There is 1 sell and buy and 2 purchases for a client. So it was a pretty productive weekend.
Nice. I love that.
Nice. Ooh.
Y'all better be out there closing these deals. That is awesome. That is awesome.
Dude, I'm a 90%. I'm a 90% closer, man.
Yeah. Lovely. Okay. Funny thing, this past week, like, and this just goes to the power of like your database and keeping up with people. So my very, very, very first client in real estate, I mean, like 7 years ago, reached out over the weekend and literally already knew the property that he wants to buy and was just like, can you write this offer for me? I don't want to work with anybody besides you. And like, we just talked about like all this stuff, but this guy, and I gotta admit, like I didn't keep up with him, you know, I didn't keep up with him. And I sent out a video a couple weeks ago just to everybody in my database, and it was an apology video. I think I might have told you about that. It was an apology video that I sent out, and I was just kind of like, I'm sorry for not being in touch, for not contacting you, all this kind of stuff. And here he goes from 7 years ago and reached out, and literally we wrote an offer, still negotiating it, but we wrote an offer. And I'm telling you, like, the past clients and the network is where it's at. And that's something that we're going to talk a little bit about today, just about better lead conversion and extreme lead conversion. So we're going to go into that. But I was so shocked when I saw his name pop up on my phone, and I was like, dang, you know, I thought he was going to be calling to cuss me out for not being in touch, but but it just goes to show you. So awesome. Anybody else have anything? Can y'all hear me okay? I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay. All right. So last week we did kind of a business meeting to where we were getting our businesses ready for this last quarter. And with that, we went over a few things. For those of you who weren't on the call last week, I would definitely encourage you to go and watch the replay. But we did something called the Wheel of Life, and it was just rating a few things in your business at their current state of either extremely dissatisfied, giving that rating a 1, or extremely satisfied, giving that a 10, or just anywhere in the middle. And the things that we evaluated were money, family, health and fitness, motivation, happiness, and work. Okay, so again, watch that replay and do this exercise. And then we evaluated where we are now and where we want to be.
Hey, Chasing, I'm sorry, excuse my ignorance, this is Marcelo. Where do I find those replays? Are they posted on the Power Unit?
Yes, so if you log into the actual system, so you can go to industrypowerplayers.com and you'll log in there, and then you should see the course Power Unit in there, and I'll show you kind of what it looks like.
All right, so it's Industry Power Unit?
industrypowerplayers.com.
Oh, Industry Power Players. All right.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna log in there with your username and password, and I'm gonna click sign in to show you what it kind of looks like. Okay, so when you get in, oh, you can't see my screen. Let me go back. Just for those of you, if anybody needs to know how to do this, manage, share my screen. All right. So this is the industrypowerplayers.com. Okay, so you'll see different courses down there. You're just going to click on where it says all courses, or yours may say my courses. And then the courses that you're registered for will show up. And so this is the Power Unit one. So you're just going to click on Power Unit, and you can click on Resume Course. And so it will open it up for you, and coaching call replays here on the side is what you want to click on. And everything that you see, typically the last one at the bottom is going to be the most recent one. So you see business planning meeting, and that's how you're going to access it.
All right.
Okay. So yeah, so we evaluated those things, where you are versus where you want to be, and then we did a SWOT analysis on our business. So we identified the strengths of our business, the weaknesses, the opportunities, and the threats. And from that, there was homework, and I received a couple of them to my email, but there were a few that I didn't receive. But the homework was essentially to take the things that we identified and create 3 goals that you want to hit before the end of 2019. So by December 31st. So we're going to create 3 goals, 3 big goals, and then put the action plan behind them. So what do we need to do to hit those goals? And then we would break that down into an actual business plan. Okay, so breaking those down into, let's just say your goal is to get 20 new clients, okay, between now and December 31st. Well, our action plan are going to be the things that we want to do to get these clients. Well, we could say Facebook advertising, I want to make more cold calls, and then I want to attend more events. Okay, so those are the 3 actions that we're going to do. Now, breaking those down into a business plan. So how many Facebook advertisements are we going to do? Well, we're going to do 5 a week. Okay, so there goes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Let's put that in the calendar, because at 11 o'clock on each of these days, I need to be putting up a Facebook message. And then cold calls. So we're going to want such and such from cold calls. So then we're going to be adding in the hours that we're going to cold call. And you're going to stick with this every day until you hit your goals. Okay, so that's what we did. And the homework was to send me in an email what those 3 goals were, and to make them as specific as possible. So if it's a matter of closing deals, how many deals do you want to close? If it's a matter of generating leads, how many leads do you want to generate? And I will say that mostly all the ones that I received were had something to do with generating leads. Okay, so that's kind of where we're going to segue into today, not lead generation, because I know that I've talked about lead generation and there's lots of resources out there to generate leads. But a big problem with lead generation that tends to hold people up, they can generate the lead, they can go out there, put out the advertisement and get people to fill out your form or whatever it is, but the lead falls off. And where we have the issue is through our lead conversion. That's that thing in the middle from when you get that lead to this lead actually becoming a client. It's the conversion, because a lot of people will generate 20, 30, 40 leads on the internet, but then none of them close, or 2 of them close. For every 10 leads you generate, you should be getting between 1 and 2 closings out of those. Okay, so what I want to do right quick is identify where each of you kind of get most of your business from, so that I can have a better idea of the type of conversion principles and tactics that we need to talk about specifically today. Okay, so anybody, whoever wants to go first, feel free.
I can go. Mainly, I get my business from people I know, people that like my Facebook page and they see my videos, or friends that I have that refer me clients that they know that they want to sell or buy.
Okay, so you have people so you do friends and family referrals, and then you have social media.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Who's next?
Hi, Marcelo here. I have actually a form which I have. It's like a bucket of business where I get all my business. I have basically 5 different buckets.
Mm-hmm.
The 2 main ones are generated by my loan officers.
Okay.
Of course, you know that I'm doing social media.
Okay.
I started with Constant Contact, which is a CRM. I have been doing festivals and going out there. And basically, I have 10,000 printed flyers that every time I go to a store, especially on the Latino stores in my area, that's pretty popular. You just post it there with a little phone number for them to pull. It's just, but I have basically 5 buckets where I'm getting my business from.
Okay, so the ones that I got here, I have referral partners, I have social media, events, and then outbound marketing. Am I missing one?
That's the guerrilla marketing, and that's basically where I'm planning on visiting a couple of churches.
Okay.
For education seminars. We have one October the 26th, I think, already scheduled. I'm trying to, like I said, stay very active with the lead generation.
Okay, cool. All right, who's next? Where are your leads coming from? Fabio, Darlene.
So I was trying to click the speak button here and I couldn't get through. Most of my leads are coming from basically I have a very niche market, which is the Brazilian market. People that are actually moving here either from Brazil or from another state, and just people I know from church, and just my just friends and family. For now, kind of getting out there, speaking to each other, and just letting them know that I do this.
Okay, cool. So go ahead.
No, that's it.
Okay, so I have relocation, lots of relocation business, and then your personal database.
Correct.
Okay, cool. All right. Next, Austin, you there?
Yes.
Okay. Austin, where
mine
does yours come?
Mine is mostly expired.
Okay, cool. All right, so expired. And then lastly, Darlene.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Most of mine are friends, family, and I noticed that when I do Facebook Live home previews, I get a lot of leads.
Okay.
That week when I just kept doing previews, I kept on touring, going to different homes. I was getting leads every day, at least 2.
That's awesome. Okay, cool. All right, so I jotted all those down, and I definitely see some trends in here. It seems like a lot of people leverage, or a lot of y'all leverage your personal database. But like I said, for as far as lead conversion goes, we can generate leads left and right. We can get all these forms, do all these videos, get people's names and numbers, but if they close or not is really the big thing that we are wondering about, and the big goal. And so if we're generating leads but we're not getting closings, then we're having a little bit of an issue. Like I said, for every 10 leads you get, 1 to 2 closings. All right. And where this comes to, hold on, I'm gonna have to mute. Where this kind of comes to people saying, well, Chasen, everybody's not ready, or this or that. It comes down to the quality of the actual lead. Okay. And right. I'll tell everybody this. If we were to put leads in a pyramid, social media is going to be on the bottom of it. And then your personal database, friends, family, referrals, those are going to be at the top. Those are going to be your best leads. And but you see it's a small section up there because they are a little bit more difficult to generate. Where it's just a big pool of them, and everybody can fill out a form, and then there goes a lead. All right, so it's important to identify where your leads are truly coming from, and how that's going to start is it's going to start through your tracking. All right, you have to take some time and track every single lead that comes in. All right, because what you're going to have to do in my big way of identifying where I should focus more of my time and efforts and money into is where have my past 20 closings been? Okay, and granted, your number may not be that high, but identify where your past closings have been and trace them back. Okay, like, okay, I closed on 123 Main Street. Oh, that was something that Susie and John gave me, and they were past clients. Okay, so that was a past client. And then I closed on 124 Main Street, and that came from the sign from 123 Main Street. Okay, so that was a sign. But you have to identify where each of your past closings have come from up to 20. 20 is gonna give you a really good number. And those areas are where we're gonna focus more of your energy into. Rarely do I see this number being very high on social media, but it can happen. Okay, there's a form that if you don't have any way of tracking it, I will give you a lead tracker form. But I know that most of you have CRMs and Excel spreadsheets, but if you don't, again, I'm gonna give you a lead tracker form, and I'll show you. Well, I think I might have gave it to y'all a couple of sessions ago, which if I did, it should be in the vault.
Is that the lead tracker form? Is that the greatness?
No, so the greatness tracker is different. The greatness tracker tracks your activities. The lead tracker is specifically just for leads. And here, I'll show you what it looks like. So I shared this Excel spreadsheet, and down here at the bottom, you can see. Sorry about that. You can see here the cold lead referral tracker, and then I also have a actual paper version that I will show y'all that tracks. I mean, if you're more of a paper person, that you can use to track every lead from. But when I say every lead, I mean every single lead, and you need to know where that lead actually came from. If it was a referral, if it was from social media, if it was, you know, from wherever, you need to know how to track this. This is just a little paper version of it, where it's just asking you name, phone number, email, where the lead came from. You're just tracking it. So I'm more than happy to share this for you to print it out and for you to begin tracking all of your leads. Okay. Now let's talk about lead types, because each lead needs a score. The good leads versus the bad leads, the leads that you should be really focusing on. And I like to break them up in A, B, and C categories. Okay. So an A lead is something that was referred with value. All right. So refer it with value. So they are ready to go right now. They're referred with value. And basically what that means is, let's just say Austin had someone who was moving to Dallas, and he told this person, yeah, Chasen's the best realtor out there. He's going to take great care of you. He has a team and they are on it. You're going to have such a great experience. He's the only person that I recommend people to. That's referring someone with value. All right. So if you have anybody who's done that, they're in that A category. Somebody else in that A category is somebody who's ready to go right now. Like I'm ready to go. I've made the decision that I'm ready to buy. I'm ready to sell. They are ready to go. This is an A lead. And then also an A lead is someone who will follow your process. Okay, if you tell them that you need to meet face to face, they're going to meet face to face. If you tell them they need to get a pre-approval letter, they're going to do what it takes to get their pre-approval letter. Okay, if you tell them that they need to schedule a phone call to talk to you tomorrow because it's 9 o'clock at night, then they're going to do that. Okay, they're willing to follow your process. When all three of those things align, so when they're referred with value, when they are ready to go, and when they will follow your process, when all of those three things line up, this is an A lead, okay? A B lead is missing one of the above. So maybe somebody may have been referred with value and they're willing to follow your process, but they're not ready to go right now, okay? So we're gonna categorize them as a B lead. And then a C lead is missing 2 out of the 3. And most of the times those are going to be your internet leads. Okay. They're not referred with value because they just fill out a form and they're not attached to you. They may not even know who you are. They may have thought you were cute or something, or you were professional, but there's no attachment there. Okay. Most of the times they're not ready to go right now. Like, people typically start on the internet 6 months in advance. So they're not necessarily ready to go right now. So that's why we categorize people who are missing 2 out of those 3 things in that C category. So what I want you to do is, and like, we're not going to take any time and hold up and do this, but I want you to think about all the leads that you have generated in the last week and in the last 2 weeks. And if you were to break those up in a category, where would they belong? Okay. Now, while you're doing this, it's going to tell you something, because people who are in your B and C, that's how we're going to that's how we're going to judge how much time and effort we're putting into that. So where are most of your leads falling? Are they falling in that A category, or are they falling in that C category? And if you're seeing, like, I'm not going to call anybody out, but if you're seeing that most of your people are in that C bucket, then we have to make some adjustments to get more people in that A bucket. So more people who are referred with value, more people who are ready to go right now, and more people who will follow your process. Okay. What we're commonly going to see is the types of leads that come out. Okay. The types of leads that come to you. So I'll tell you, people who were referred to you from other people. All right. Obviously they're referred with value. So the referral that comes with value is one of my favorite referrals. I can see that a lot of you get referrals from friends and family from other people. Okay. But then we have a lot of people who also do social media. So it's something to think about. All right. Now, for each of these lead types, okay, and this is going to be you working on your business as a CEO. For each of these lead types, you have to have a systematic order for your follow-up, okay, with whatever lead. So whatever category it is, whether it's an A, whether it's a B, whether it's a C, I'm not saying to throw any of them to the curb, but you have a systematic follow-up that's different for each one, okay? And I'm going to give you some things that you need to think about with this follow-up. So please write these things down, okay? Now, the first thing I already told you, every lead needs to be on your lead tracker or your CRM. So no matter how it comes in, where it comes from, if they're ready for a year from now, put them on something immediately. All right. You're going to forget about it. Okay. And you're going to wonder about this lead a year from now when they tell you that they were going to be ready, but unfortunately they've already purchased, or you're not going to be able to find their information. Every single lead needs to go in your tracker. This is business 101. Okay. You can't measure where you're going to go if you don't know where you've come from. And a lot of agents just blindly put dollars into places. Oh, let's try this. Let's try this. Let's try this, without necessarily focusing on what's truly working, because they don't know what's truly working because they haven't tracked it. Okay. So every lead needs to be in your lead tracker. Next is going to be your speed to lead. All right. And this is how quickly are you going to reach out to this lead. Keep in mind, we are doing systematic follow-up processes. So it's going to be different for each one. I'll tell you right now, internet lead needs to be your quickest. So anything that's in that C category needs to be your quickest. They have zero attachment to you, and they will go to someone else like this. Now, people that are in that A category, heck, 12 to 24 hours won't hurt that category, because they're the ones that are going to sit there and they're going to wait for you. Okay. They're the ones that have specifically reached out to you, or specifically asked somebody, or, you know, whatever it is. And then those people in the middle, you can kind of gauge. Now you need to set a standard for your business, for yourself, and then any team members that you choose to bring on. So for instance, let's just say that anybody in the C category, let's actually start with the A category. Anybody that's in the A category, if we can reach out to them within 12 hours, we're doing good. All right. In the A category, if we reach out to them within 1 hour, we're doing great. Okay. 30 minutes could be our ideal. And then anything less than 30 minutes, we're a rock star. You know, so anything less than 30 minutes, I'm going to grade myself as being a rock star. This is the type of structure that you want to set up. All right. So, and this is just an example. But like those A leads, like I said, they won't go anywhere, but you don't want to make your follow-up be longer than 24 hours after they've been referred to you. Okay. Now flipping it on the internet lead, right? It can change. So if I reach out within 3 minutes, then I'm a rock star. If I reach out within 5 minutes, then that's still good. If it's within 10 minutes, I have the possibility of losing this. If it's 30 minutes, I can just think of this person as gone. You know, that's the infrastructure that we've set up for the internet leads. Okay. It's speed to lead for each of these categories. So what I want you to take some time in doing this week is setting up your structure for how you're going to, for your speed to lead with each of these categories. All right. Does that make sense? All right. Next, how will you be contacting them? Okay. This comes to conversion again. How will you be contacting them? I'll say from experience, those people that are in that A bucket, they tend to like phone calls better. Okay. And phone calls and meetings, they will respect your process. They will show up, they will hop on the phone, they'll schedule time. They may have their husband and wife on speakerphone together, versus people who are in that C category. Those are the ones that are going to text and DM. Okay. And what I'm going to tell you next, you're going to really see how this works, but you need to know how you're going to contact them. Know what's your medium of contacting each of these different categories. All right. Are you going to call them, email, text them? Is it more so about a meeting? Do you want to have a meeting with their referral partner? Do you want to be on the phone call with their referral partner 3-way? Do you want this, whoever referred them, to put y'all on an email together? You know, identify the contact methods that you're going to use for each of these contacts. If you want to follow my model, A people are going to be the phone calls and the face-to-face meetings. Okay, eventually you want to move everybody to a face-to-face meeting, but they're going to be the least resistant to either one of those. B people, you can do the phone call or email. Okay, they may not be ready for a meeting quite yet, because depending on their time frame, you may find that a meeting just won't work. In that C category, conversion tends to be better when it's least attaching. So trying to get somebody in that C category to a meeting, they're probably gonna run off, and you're gonna scare them because they're not ready. Getting them on the phone is probably going to be very difficult, and you're going to get frustrated. They won't answer, but then it's going to be so interesting when you send them a text message and you see that they have their read receipts on, and it shows that they read that text message. You know, so again, identify your methods of contact for each of these categories. Okay. And then next, what is going to be your language and scripting? Okay. This needs to be the same for everything. Like, y'all, I'm telling you, when you set your business up like this, and when you set your lead conversion up like this, it makes things so much easier because you know exactly what you're gonna do, what you're gonna say, how you're gonna contact them, what your next steps are gonna be, because it's the same for each one. So your only real hard work comes with identifying which type of person each of these people are. Are they A, B, or C? And that's what you need to identify within the first conversation. Most times you can identify before you even talk to them, but that's going to be the hardest part because all this structure is going to be already set up to where it's just, okay, this is a C person. I know what I'm going to say. I know what drip campaign I'm going to put them on. I know what text messages I'm going to spend. Oh, I'm hiring somebody right now. Well, here's what we say, and here's what we do for people who fit in this category. It's the same every single time. All right. So the language in scripting. Okay. How are you going to have that conversation with them? What's going to be said in that conversation with them? All right. I'll tell you, the people that are the hardest to convert, okay, are going to be your worst leads. All right. And those are the people that you need to identify quickly as an agent if it's worth your time. And you need to be okay with people not being worth your time. Okay. But your job is not to sit there and try to convert or try to make somebody who's a C, try to make them into an A by tomorrow. That's just not going to happen. And you're going to see that it's going to be a waste of your time. They're going to be resistant to every single part of the process until they're actually ready. Okay. But if you sit there and put all of your focus on them, you're missing out on true A's who are ready to go. All right. The people who are resistant to everything, the people who want to sit there and ask the most questions and who just want to take without giving a little, are the worst people you can work with. And you don't want to put a lot of time into them because they're going to literally suck you dry and drain all of your precious time when you're going to be missing out on somebody who's truly ready to go. All right. So think about that when you're having a conversation with people. Okay. You're going to be asking them discovery questions. You're going to be putting them on the same process that you put everybody else on. And you're going to notice the people who follow versus the people who, well, what about this? Well, what about this? And are you